Well, of course it's a snowy winter day out there. Probably going to be snowing all day. So what do we do when it's snowing, dear?
We experiment.
We experiment with different things to cook. Earlier I was making my kale pesto. And then I think just the other day I made my quick sardine sandwich. And so now this is going to be a kale and leek soup. Now we've got here the leeks in a bigger pan.
And these have already been washed.
They've been washed and they've been cut up and quartered and all that, as you can see. It's in there. And so we're going to cook them for about, what, 2 to 3 minutes?
Till they're a little soft.
At least 2 to 3 minutes. So.
Yeah, and just like a saute.
And stir it every so often. And then after we've sauteed them, what happens from there?
We put in, it says 2 bunches of kale. Now, bunch is kind of subjective.
Well, I think there should be probably enough at least to fill that layer up on top of it.
A single layer on top of this.
Probably more, because kale wilts like
it does
crazy,
wilt.
so,
it does wilt.
Yeah, more kale better. It's not a problem.
After that, there's going to be, well, we're supposed to add chicken broth, which we don't have, so we're going
to use the bouillon cubes.
Bouillon cube way.
Yeah.
Which I know adds a lot of salt, so we will not be adding a lot of salt to this.
No, we wouldn't add any salt in general anyway.
But pepper. It does say do pepper. And then it's going to cook for about 30 minutes. And then it's going to cool and go into the food processor or the blender. The regular blender? Okay.
Because we want to puree it this particular time in the blender. And then after that, it's going to come back into here. Now, I will make a couple of sections on this because I don't really have a pause. I'm doing this on our cell phone. So we'll get back to the next stages. And right now we're just doing the saute. Alright, it's been sauteing for a little bit. And now my wife is going to... Even that has kind of dwindled down.
Yeah, it's wilted down a little bit. We don't want these caramelizing like, onions would. They said 2 bunches. It looked like they were using a frying pan about this size, and there was like 1 single layer of the kale on top, so that's kind of what we're going to go for.
Yeah, put a lot of it in there.
And this will wilt down quite a bit. Yes. It's sort of like spinach. It just goes down into
a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to spread it out a little bit. Think we should cover this? Probably.
Yeah, good idea.
Alright, I think that's good.
You got the wonderful little glass covering. And that's about 5-10 minutes, I guess, which can stir it occasionally.
I'm just going to stir it for a few minutes, and then we have to put in 6 cups of either chicken broth, which we don't have, so we're putting in 6 cups of water with 6 bouillon cubes.
Or whatever fits in there, water-wise.
They also said you could use vegetable stock, so if you're vegan...
If you want to go vegetarian or vegan or whatever. Yeah. But, all right, well, we'll be back next. We're going to take our kale and leeks with our broth and put it into our little blender. I guess that's what we have here, right?
Yeah.
And put it down, and we're going to puree it.
We've let this cool for about 15 minutes. It's still warm.
You're going to have to get the liquid in there, too.
Yeah. This is definitely we're going to have to do this in at least 2 batches.
I don't know. You can fill it up pretty far.
Yeah, this is 6 cups of broth, though.
This holds, what is it? I think it holds a quart.
Yeah.
You need me to give you a hand?
There we go. I don't know, how full do you want this?
Alright, well, let's do that one with that there. It's going to end up getting mixed together anyway. So, let's see what we get out of there. Alright. Put that on, and then find our puree button. And we're just gonna
stir. Here's puree. Okay, here, let me hold that.
okay. Oh, I guess we need to plug it in.
Plug it in.
There, put the right plug in there. Hopefully.
Okay, we good?
Yeah, should be in.
All right. Well, that looks pretty good. Let me get a container here. Where the heck did these come from?
I don't know. We had them. So we're just going to pour it into there from that. And then we'll add some more in. Yeah. Well, that's basically the soup.
I don't know. You think that should be...
Well, you can re-add it back in. So, you know, maybe it's too much broth in there, but, you know. But I guess it's a soup. All right, well, we're going to get to that, and then I guess later on we'll sit down here and have some of this. And maybe we could have had more kale and more...
I don't know, because they just said 2 bunches. It's not like they said 4 cups
all
or
right,
whatever,
well,
so...
it's good and soupy, and you could always mix it up in there. And so that's fine.
But I've tasted the broth.
We could add vegetables if we want to, or whatever in there. All right. Well, until afterwards. All right. Well, here's a little bowl of soup that I got, and it's really very, very soupy. We got about. We're thinking we could have maybe put more kale in there, but like Maggie said, said 2 bunches of kale, and we don't know exactly what a bunch of kale is. Maybe it was the whole bag.
Do you want some Parmesan cheese on top of that?
Yeah, that would be great.
That's what they suggested.
Add some Parmesan cheese.
Also, I did not put in any pepper, so you might want to season it a little with some pepper.
That's it?
Oh,
Don't
sorry.
be cheap.
Oh.
There we go. Okay. All right, well, that's our thing, and I'll make it some crackers, and I could probably add some whole kale that we didn't mash up into it, and some other vegetables or something like that too.